we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cocktail Time over at 4-Player Network. It's Sunday. After a long weekend of drinking at Santacon, it's time to drink some more and talk about video games, I think. That's what's going on. Everybody, welcome to Cocktail Time over at 4-Player Network. I'm your host of Cocktail Time, Joseph Christ, and with me tonight is Bob Webb.
Hello.
How you doing, Bob?
Pretty good.
Good, and also... What's you what?
Fucking tired.
You're tired? I'm a little tired, too. I had
long weekend of drinking.
I had Santacon this weekend.
Yeah.
So it actually wasn't... We'll get to it, but it wasn't as crazy as normal as it always was. And also with us tonight is Jeffrey Diablo from 4-Player Network. How you doing, man?
What's up, guys?
Did you call him Jeffrey Diablo?
What is he? Jeffrey Diablo is his name. His new name is...
Yes.
Okay.
His new name is Jeffrey Diablo.
It's actually a pretty badass last name.
Yeah. And you guys are... I don't feel nearly as festive as you guys, because you're just... Look at you. You have your Christmas trees and everything.
This is actually not a Christmas tree. This is a indoor plant that we threw Christmas lights on.
It's your Christmas plant, is
yes.
what it is.
You can't see it because it's so bright. It looks like just a ball of lights on the screen.
That's all right. Everyone needs a Christmas plant. I know.
Yeah, at least I'm not covered in lights this time.
That's true. I do actually have a tree. It's just not in this room, so I am somewhat festive, just not on video. You know. How you doing, Jeffrey? What have you been up to? Haven't talked to you in a while.
Wrapping up fucking 2012 games.
That's kind of what we're all
doing.
That's kind of what we're all kind of doing right now.
Yeah, cramming.
Yeah, that's the theme of the last 2 or 3 weeks of the year. It's just nothing but goddamn playing the games you didn't get to play. I mean,
right.
This weekend, Tara played Dust. That's something new, right?
Yeah, I'm playing that. Is she around? Because
yeah, she's right next to me.
Have you played it? Well, I'm going to talk about it.
I watched her play it.
Yeah,
we can have her do a special guest segment on there where she talks about what she played.
We could totally do that. I haven't. That's one of the ones I haven't gotten to yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to. And I have to.
Yeah, you have to skip some this year, right? Like you have to skip some. There's just too many.
Well, considering our top 10 lists have to be in now, you know.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, I'm giving mine in today. I was working on it. I was actually working on mine on the bus on my way back from Portland Santacon with my iPhone, which is not easy. I kind of wish I had brought my laptop, but I didn't. So
it's pretty hard to type on any kind of little touch pad or even just any kind of like small keyboard. Just fucking sucks. Even tiny laptops.
I wasn't even typing. I was grabbing titles. I was going through Wikipedia and then typing the titles out and then moving them around in the iPhone notepad thing, which is not the best way to be doing it. So, whatever. Should we move on to toast of the show? Should we just jump right into that shit? All right. Jeffrey, since you haven't been with us for a while, why don't you kick us off the toast of the show, toast of the week?
Okay, so my toast of the show is going to go to, I think I did this last time I was on, but still, again, like, man, I've been compiling my 2012 top 10 for like 3 weeks, like just playing everything again as much as I can, like just to feel it and kind of like get nostalgia for it. But I'm going to toast to 2012 because I thought it was like a phenomenal year for games, even though it felt like it wasn't, you know what I mean? But look, when I look back on it, I was like, I had a full 20 on my top 10 that I had to constantly like just juggle and decide where I was going. Like, I think this year more than ever, like the top 10 really has to, it was hard for me to just pick favorites because there was a lot of favorites. So I had to kind of start crunching it down to like, okay, what am I trying to say with this top 10? You know, and I wrote an article about it that's on the front page now. But, yeah, so cheers to 2012 because it was a pretty rad year for games.
All right. Now, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm just drinking Guinness.
Oh, very nice. Very good choice. Very good choice.
Simple Guinness.
Very good choice. Bob Webb, Mr. Bob Webb.
Yes.
How about you, Ben?
I'm gonna unmute myself now that I actually remembered. My toast specifically goes to Turbine.
Mm-hmm.
It's Turbine Entertainment. They're a MMO development company that did Lord of the Rings Online, Dungeons and Dragons Online, and Asheron's Call. But they also did an old game called Asheron's Call 2, which they just relaunched this past week.
Oh, really?
And I've been obsessing over this thing since I played it back in 2002 is when it came out. Mm-hmm. So it came out a decade ago. It shut down in 2005, end of 2005. So almost exactly 7 years ago, it shut down. So I've just been, ecstatic that this game that I thought I would never be able to play again, 7 years later, has been relaunched as kind of a beta. So if you have an Asheron's Call 1 subscription, you can actually play the second one for free. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of added on top of that subscription. Nice. So I've just been really excited to play this game again, because it's one of those games that I played pretty much all summer for the summer of 2002 when I was working my shitty job in shipping. Mm-hmm. And I just have such fond memories of this game, like getting home from 9 hours of just packing boxes and throwing them on pallets and wrapping pallets, and then just getting drunk on Heineken and playing this game. Specifically Heineken for some reason. I don't know, I was drinking Heineken that summer. But it was just this. It's one of those kind of nostalgic games that you just are like, I want to go back to that and play it. But since it's a fucking MMO, you can't if it's shut down.
That's true. Yeah, you can't do it at all. So
I just been ecstatic that this game has come back, and I've finally been playing it again, and I'm just remembering all these things that I used to do in this game, and there's like the really interesting parts of this game that make it really was, for its time, it was incredibly just amazing. It was very progressive. It had a lot of advanced features in there that games like WoW wouldn't even implement until way later on.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll go back to my toast goes to them. What I'm drinking is I got a shot of absinthe, since I really haven't been doing any kind of nasty shots lately. I got a list of some additional nasty shots from one of the community members. I'm gonna have to be
good.
Those, but I need ingredients to make some.
So is that the list over at 4pp.tv? Is that still going on?
No, I think that kind of died down. Most of the ones people listed I've already done. I should actually go into that list and kind of list all the ones I've already made, so people have an idea of what I've done and what I haven't done. But so next weekend, hopefully I'll have something to make for the nasty shot. So I just got the absinthe, and then I'm going to be drinking this is a frosty mug full of my homemade hard cider, which is pretty much just everything I had in my cabinet thrown into a boiling pot of apple juice.
Right. Nice.
So it's pretty good. It came out really nice because it's like a nice spiced cider. I try to make it taste like pumpkin pie, and it got pretty close.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm going to be, speaking of MMOs, I'm going to be toasting Sony Online Entertainment for Planetside 2, which I recently got into. I got it to run on one of the other computers in the home that's better than mine, and right away got sucked back in. I was a huge fan and player of Planetside 1 when it was popular.
It's really good. And I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about this game, but it's so well polished.
Yeah, it's so well done, and it's basically Planetside 1 with some changes, a new coat of paint. And I mean, there are some changes that I'm not too crazy about, and it's kind of fun. It's funny, like, trying to think about what these changes are, because I'm trying to remember, what was like in Planetside 1? This seems different, and I'd have to type.
Yeah, there are definitely some.
I'm like, do warp gates not work anymore? I'm at a warp gate, and I'm in the middle of it. I'm not going anywhere. I used to be able to, because you used to be able to like get an entire armada of ships and put them in the warp gate, and then choose where you want to go. And you can't do that anymore. It's just for looks. So like that big gate in the middle was an actual warp gate you can get into.
Right. So you can actually build your ships in one place and then have everybody go in there and then warp to another world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's not the case. You actually have to use a console and then you port it over there by yourself.
Right, and then you have
no ships.
Because back in Planetside 1 there was a greater emphasis, I think, on managing resources. So sometimes you needed to continue fighting on one continent, but you had resources on a different continent. So you had to move gal ships and stuff, galaxies from that continent. And that's the way you did it. So, but anyway, I had a great time doing it. I had a really fucking fantastic playthrough. I think one day I played for like 6 hours, and I gained like 160 or 170 cert points. Something like ridiculous.
Well, I think you actually outdid me in rank. I'm up to 11. 7?
Yeah, I'm battle rank 12 now. I'm battle rank 12.
Yeah, I might actually be only 7.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
The one of the big things is you should get, if you haven't already, there's a cert unlock for the Sunder that allows you to have people spawn at it. Deploy and spawn.
Right.
Yeah, you got that already?
Yeah, it becomes a mobile spawn point. No, I don't have it yet, but I'm gonna.
You should. It's essential because it's not only does it allow you to deploy a Sunderer and have people spawn at that point. Yeah. You get XP for every person that spawns at that point.
Oh, really? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Nice. So anyway, my toast is going to Settled Land Entertainment for bringing me back into the Planetside fold. And I am drinking water because I had Santacon this weekend, and I drank yesterday from noon till about midnight.
Fair enough.
So
it's like a whole week's of worth of drinking in one day.
Basically, one Santa Claus ridden day. So I'm pretty good. I'm actually not that hungover because I didn't go too crazy. I drank consistently, but I paced myself. And we'll talk about
hydration is key. Hydration is definitely key.
Well, I didn't hydrate, but you just pace yourself. Is basically.
I guess. You know. If you're pacing yourself, you typically are drinking and eating other stuff throughout the day too.
Well, we did stop for food a few times, and that helps as well. So, anyway, so let's have our toast.
Oh God,
wonderful,
wonderful. Oh man, this is not really absinthe is not really good to shoot because it's 55%. So it's like the rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, you'll be fine. 1, 2, 3. I'm just drinking water. All right.
Yeah, that burns.
It does burn. Yeah.
Woo! Oh God. Oh man, it's like I just like sucked the dick of a licorice man.
Licorice man. Oh, silly! Don't you know all men are made of licorice? It's our secret. It's our secret.
Money shot.
It's our manly secret.
Wow, licorice in the pants.
So let's actually start off by talking about Asheron's Call, because I remember this game a little bit, but I don't think I had that much experience with it. But Bob, sounds like you were quite enthralled.
With which one?
Asheron's Call.
Oh, yeah. So, God, there's a lot of history about this game. Some history that I know from playing it myself and then having a lot of fun with it over time. And then some I know from actually talking to people that worked at the company.
Right.
So some of it's kind of a private history that they don't really want to talk about. But typically, like, the story is, Asheron's Call 2 came out. They were developing Asheron's Call 1, which is a very popular game. It's still running. Asheron's Call 1 is still running. It was one of the first 3D MMOs alongside of EverQuest. But it's a style of MMO that's much more akin to like a Ultima Online, where it's skill-based. You have sets of skills you raise. It's not class-based. Mm-hmm. So you spend all of your experience on skills, and you kind of craft your character by having certain skills that you max out. Mm-hmm. Like Ultima Online, which is, I think you played as well, where you actually raise your skill by using it.
Right. That's the Bethesda way, kind of.
Yeah, it's very similar to that, actually. Mm-hmm. But where it's just you build your character by how you play it. This one, I think you actually dump experience into certain skills. For Asheron's Call 2, people were expecting it to be basically Asheron's Call 1, but with an upgraded look. Mm-hmm. And actually, one of the things that that's not really public, I think, is from what I understand, the same engine they used for Halo was originally developed for Asheron's Call 2.
Right.
So it was it looks, still today, you look at it, and it still looks good. I played this actually on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And I broadcasted it, and it still looks like a decent game. It looks like a game that came out in the last 5 years, but it came out 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Wow.
Over a decade. And it's one of these kind of it was really kind of revolutionary for its time, because they decided, hey, instead of going with the same formula that everybody has, let's just fucking go off the wall and make it so you don't need arrows. Every single game up until that point was like, you need to have arrows, you have a quiver. It's like, no, if you're a fucking projectile class, you just equip a bow and start shooting shit. Yeah. So they had no quivers.
Interesting.
There's no vendors, really. You can buy stuff, but you can't sell stuff, because you can choose to instantly transmute any item you pick up into gold.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So anytime you loot and you decide, everything on this corpse is just trash, I'm gonna trash it anyway, you just click the gold button, convert it into gold.
So it seems like they did a lot of things to streamline the system, basically.
Exactly. It's incredibly streamlined.
Yeah.
For a game that came out in 2002, like, we're just seeing some of this stuff resurge again in 2012.
Yeah.
Like, these are some of the ideas that they did back then that were just so revolutionary and so different from the original games that people were just had such a stigma against this game. You're like, oh, whoa, this is way too different. It's not Asheron's Call. I hate this bullshit. But it has a lot of characteristics, because I actually, playing the game when it first came out, I never played Asheron's Call. I kind of knew about it because my roommate in college was like, oh, I fucking love Asheron's Call, and they're making Asheron's Call 2. This is awesome. And then it came out the next summer, and I played it. I was like, you know what? Asheron's Call 2 is a lot of fucking fun. This is great. But it's not the same game. There's no, like, single skills. Like, there's kind of classes, not really. It's based on your race. So with the original game, there's 3 races. You have humans, you have Lugians, which are these kind of big, burly troll-like guys, and Tumaroks, which are these kind of like alien-looking guys. They're really fucking weird. I don't know even how to describe them. But based on your race, you have 3 base skill trees, and these are skill trees that work a lot like Diablo. So when you level up, you gain a skill point. You can actually buy a new skill in the tree, but then you can pump experience into the skills you actually use. So it's kind of this neat feeling that you had from the whole, like, Diablo hack and slash with the skill trees, and building your character that way. You can go into any skill tree you want. There's 3 of them. There's melee, there's missile, and there's magic. And you can divide points in any of those 3. And there's actually sometimes there are certain abilities you want to get that are not all in one tree. Like, you don't want to just go fully ranged, or you don't want to go fully magic, you don't want to go fully melee, because there's actually certain skills you want to get that either will heal you or regenerate your power that you use for executing skills. And then from there, each of these sub-trees, you can choose 1 specialization. And there's typically about 2 specializations per sub-tree. So within a given race, you have 3 trees, and then on each of those trees, you have 2 specialization trees, which allow you to create just kind of a really crazy infinite combination of character builds, depending on, like, what you want to be able to do. There were, like, very powerful people that decided to do, I'm just going to do kind of like a melee healer. And the game, like, when it came out, the whole purpose of the game was, like, trying to get things that would break the game.
People just trying out different stuff.
Oh yeah, they're just trying, like, getting the most powerful combinations of abilities to create characters that could never fucking die. And there were plenty of those combinations.
Right.
Like, it took actually about a year or so for this game to kind of balance out. There were a lot of stability issues. I know it got pushed out really hard. It's the same story with a lot of these kind of game developments, where they're just like, we have a huge budget, we need a ship at this date. And then they get to that date, and they're like, this game's not done. We have no QA. We barely, like, the guy that made all the skills was the guy that QA'd it. There was one guy that did all the skills. And only that guy knew exactly what those skills were supposed to do. So when the QA team came in to QA those skills, they would use them and be like, I don't know if this is working. I don't know if this skill is doing what it's supposed to, because nobody fucking is telling me what this skill is supposed to, because it's not documented. Nobody knows what this skill is supposed to do except Steve, and Steve's not here. I can't talk to Steve. So
damn you, Steve!
I guess it's working.
It's always Steve's fault.
Yeah. So what ended up happening is the QA team started being like, they only really reported bugs on things that they knew were wrong, and that was like, oh, this house on the terrain is kind of floating up a little bit. Like, you can kind of see under the house, and that's, like, an issue.
Basic stuff.
But it's like, hey, the Tumarok wax figure skill is not working because it's supposed to create a wax clone of you, and it's supposed to draw aggro. But they don't know. It's like, is it working or not? Like, it creates the clone, but it's not working. It's the thing's not attacking it, but maybe it's because I used it wrong. Like, I don't know what the scenario is. It's like this. So, like, it kind of had this huge problem with either, people, the QA team not knowing what the game was supposed to do, and just having a rushed schedule going on. So when it launched, it was incredibly buggy. It had a lot of kind of holes in it. But it was one of those games that I played it that I found so charming, because it was like, I can break this game. I can break this game, and I can do a really powerful thing. I can create this really crazy kind of combinations of skills, and be able to play. I played with my brother, I played with my sister, and we were able to, like, 3 of us go out and just kick so much ass, and try to figure out how we can tweak the environment and the skills and the characters to meet our needs and be able to exploit the system. And there's plenty of these in the game. Like I remember they have these things called incursions, which are basically quests you find out within the world, which are triggered by certain enemies.
Like a dynamic quest?
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of like the dynamic quest. You're wandering around, and then you see a special monster, and it's got a key floating above its head, and that means that it's a quest monster. Mm-hmm. So if you go kill it, you'll receive a quest. And these are called incursion quests, because you kill it, and it says, oh, there's actually been a blight of these types of monsters in the region. Go kill this number of them, and then you'll receive a big reward. And this is kind of like the big way of finishing this, or of leveling up in the game, because there's kind of like there's quests in the game, but this is still one of those old game styles where you had to do a bit of grinding. Mm-hmm. And all the quests, well, at least most of them, are repeatable.
Right.
So you can repeat a quest whenever you want. There's a timer usually, like it's a day or a couple days, depending on the type of quest. Mm-hmm. But it's like, okay, I can finish this quest today and then do it again tomorrow. Or I can finish this quest, wait 15 minutes, and then do it again. Like a lot of the incursions were on these really short timers. So you get these quests, and you go kill the number of guys, you get a huge chunk of experience, and then you move on, find another incursion monster, wait for your timer to reset, kill it, and then go kill a bunch of other things. And one of the initial problems with the game when you first joined in the game is that you could group with people, but there had to be you had to be within, like, I think 5 levels of each other to get experience if you're in the group. But these incursion quests still gave you experience when you finished them, regardless if someone was power leveling you or not. Mm-hmm. You didn't even need to be in the same continent.
Oh, really?
Have a level 1 character on the starter zone, group up with a high level character that ran around, did the quests on the main level like the highest level continent, and they would still get progression. And then you see the people sitting there at the nexuses,
just dinging the whole time,
and you just see this explosion of like particle effects going all over these people, like boom, 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 boom. They go up like 5 or 10 levels in one go. It was ridiculous.
If you were a higher level, you could whore yourself out for cash to just run quests for lower level characters.
Well, that's the thing. Like this game, the community was so close knit. Yeah. So close knit that if you had a new person come in, they would be like, "Hey, dude, I'll help you out. I'll tell you how to do all this parts of the game because some of it's hard to figure out. Just sit here, group with me. I'm going to power level you." And they do all this without even asking for anything back. Like they were incredibly like this was the one sphere of the internet MMO part of the world that was actually nice to you, where people. Wow. 90% of the time, people were there to help you.
Well, it's a good thing they shut it down because we don't like that on the internet.
That's the travesty. Like it's like most people in these days are just like in MMOs. You go talk to them, they're going to be a fucking asshole to you.
For the most part. Yeah.
And like one of the reasons I really missed this game was that the community was so nice, like just generally nice. Like whenever you went over and you're like, I need to go kill this certain monster for this quest, and there's someone there with you, they would automatically invite you into a group to go do it with you. Yeah. It wasn't like I'm going to compete with you to do this thing. It was always like, just group up. We'll just do it together. It's okay. We'll just fucking do this. And I'll help you out. If you have any other quests you're doing, if you need to go further down the line, I'll do that. If you need some incursions, I know some guys. Like it was always incredibly helpful and such a wonderful community that when it shut down, it was just like, fuck.
So why did it shut down? Just disinterest and migrated to other MMOs? When did it shut down? When was this?
It shut down in December of 2005.
Okay.
Pretty much the end of the year 2005, and it shut down because the game they released they released an expansion. Mm-hmm. It was not well marketed. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't even know the expansion was there.
Right.
And then because that kind of failed, they had no marketing budget. Microsoft, who was originally publishing the game, was like, you know what, we're pulling our servers. You're not going to be able to use our shit anymore. Right. So. This kind of goes into speculation and what I heard from people on the inside. But Microsoft owned a lot of the authentication systems and whatnot. You actually had to have a MSDN kind of account. Mm-hmm. MSDN's a developer network. What's the MSN account?
MSN was the old.
The old.
Now it's just Microsoft accounts, but it used to be MSN accounts.
It used to be MSN, like it's old Microsoft accounts, and so they had the whole system in order to play the game, you had to have a Microsoft account. It was all linked to their systems. All your billing information was on their systems. So when Microsoft was all, you know what, we're going to wash our hands clean of this. We don't want to really deal with this MMO anymore because you didn't sell a certain number of copies for the expansion. You deal with it. Or they were like, we're just going to shut it down. Then Turbine was like, you know what? We'll buy the rights from you. We'll keep this game going. We love this game. We've worked on it for so many years. We know this game is a lot of fun. Yeah. We finally got it to a point where it's stable and we actually have a lot of really good dynamics going on. Mm-hmm. There's a really intricate system to this game. We love it. We're going to keep it around. We know people will come back to it. So they ended up buying the IP back from Microsoft. But what happened is that because a lot of the billing information was on the Microsoft systems, they would lose it. Like Turbine couldn't get the billing information from them. Mm-hmm. So they couldn't keep charging people for the game. Like they would basically have to have everyone start over from scratch, like saying, okay, you need to recreate accounts on our game because we don't have those accounts anymore.
And people who invested all that time, they don't want to bother. It's like, it's just not worth it after a while.
Yeah, they may be able to have people sign back up again for their same accounts and keep it going. But what with some of these older games and a lot of these older MMOs are the kind of sleeper accounts. These are the accounts that people who create it and they're just sitting there getting monthly fees on there and they don't fucking play them. Mm-hmm. And they're like a good 30-40% of their base, their payment base was that. Mm-hmm. And when you have to say, you have to send an email out to everyone saying, hey, we're changing the system over. Please change your account over to the new system. Most of the people aren't going to respond.
Right. Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to get the money you were getting in from them, like 30 or 40% of your base money coming from that profit. It's gone.
Yeah.
So they were just like, shit, we can't. We want to keep this game going, but Microsoft's saying, hey, we can't use their servers anymore, so we can't get the information from them for whatever fucking security reason. We're fucked. We have to shut this game down. There's no way it can keep going.
Right.
And that's basically when they decided, you know what, we're gonna end it. It's gonna be done. We're not gonna have support the servers anymore, and they shut it down. And they actually Turbine, what they ended up doing is they rebuilt a lot of the stuff that was in AC2 into Lord of the Rings Online. If you play Lord of the Rings Online, you basically know how to play AC2.
Oh, so would you say Lord of the Rings Online is sort of a spiritual successor to Asheron's Call?
Exactly. It uses the next generation of the same MMO engine. Mm-hmm. So it's the same game. Like a lot of it is it's based off the same systems. Right. I think the skill system for Lord of the Rings Online is a little different. But the game is, if you play AC2 and you played a lot of Lord of the Rings Online, you would instantly recognize a lot of stuff.
How exactly is Lord of the Rings Online doing? Is it
good?
Is it good?
No, it's good. Yeah, they really recently released the Riders of Rohan. I believe that expansion was this past year. Mm-hmm. They're free to play. And it's a good game. It's really good. I played that for quite a while. It's really interesting. If you like the Lord of the Rings lore, you need to fucking play that game.
Okay. I never gave it a second glance, really, myself. I mean, I've been away from MMOs for a long time, anyways. So,
yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a game that like if you read the books and you really like it, it's like, oh shit, this guy, or oh shit, this place. Like you really kind of go around the world and you do a lot of different things. The free to play is unfortunate because they kind of cut out a lot of stuff. Like if you had bought the game, like I did, I bought it back when it was still a subscription game. I was locked out of a lot of the shit because I wasn't a premium member. Mm-hmm. Like, well, fuck. I mean, like all these quests in this one zone are all like I have to buy this package. Or I have to be a premium member to be able to access those quests again. I know I did them before.
Yeah.
So there's some things like that that piss me off, but the other aspects of the game are still there. You can still level through just fine without having to pay anything.
Right.
If you like it and you want to be like a subscriber, you don't have to pay anything other than the monthly fee, and the game's completely open to you. You don't have to worry about shit.
Right.
It's still a lot of fun. It's one of those games that are really, every once in a while I'll go back to it because it's fucking hilarious. Mm-hmm. Because the role-playing community in Lord of the Rings Online is intense.
Oh, really?
It's awesome. We actually, specifically because we played on a role-playing server, an RP server, because we didn't want to be stuck on a server with a bunch of dicks, and usually the RPers are really nice to you.
Yeah.
So if you go on an RP server, you're usually with a really good, solid community. And a lot of people that played AC2 moved to Lord of the Rings Online.
Okay.
So a lot of the same people, a lot of the core base that were really cool, really nice, really helpful, moved to Lord of the Rings Online. So when you go to the RP servers, you'll run into the same people. And even they name the same servers from AC2 in Lord of the Rings, but they named them in Elven.
Oh.
So they have the same names, but they're actually in Elvish.
And only the role players will get it.
Yeah, exactly. And the developers. But it's a great game because you'll go into a tavern and then there'll be this dude like playing an instrument, like playing because it's actually in Lord of the Rings Online. You play the individual notes, like on all your keys reference like a specific notes on the instrument you're playing. So like someone will be playing like a guitar. They'll actually be playing it on their keyboard and they'll play it through your computer.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of people like play like Sweet Child of Mine using like the lute.
Oh, really? So they can play any song they want.
Any song you want.
Okay. So, okay, I understand. For a second, I thought maybe it was more like the music game from Two Worlds 2, where you could play things like that. But
no.
You can play anything you want. That's funny.
Anything you want, because you can play the notes you want on your fucking keyboard, and then it'll actually translate into notes in the game.
That's awesome.
So you'll get people playing like Sweet Child of Mine in the inn, and like people standing around there clapping and cheering and like telling stories and LARPing and all this other bullshit.
Oh, that's funny.
It's hilarious. It's really fun.
That's very much what the SCA is like.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically NCA Online.
SCA Online.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people there play that.
I would be. Yeah, I'm sure. What were you going to say, Jeff? Heard you click it.
I was going to say if that would be rad if I could just play that game as a musician, like a bum ass musician, just standing there, and like people could tip me, and that's how I would make my money, by playing songs.
I'm sure. I mean, since people are playing their own notes, I mean, you could form a band and write your own songs.
Yeah.
So
you can actually
awesome.
You can create music, like sheet music, and then allows you can just play it in the game automatically. You load in a file, and it'll just play it. That's the unskilled people.
Right.
They'll just like load in sheet music, and it'll have the right kind of delays in there and the right notes, and you'll be able to get all that shit going at the right pace and play like Sweet Child of Mine or like
that would be difficult,
like
online, because you'd have like things like latency and stuff would mess it up possibly.
It does.
Difficult.
You will get the amateur musicians in there like bung 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 bung. It's fucking awful. And then people are like, "Yay! That was great."
That'd be nice. Oh man.
Hobbiton is basically just a town of LARPers. Because they have Hobbiton, which is a starter zone. It's just a bunch of people that are like, I'm a hobbit, they stole my pies. And these are like players and bullshit. It's fucking weird.
It's funny.
It's Second Life.
Yeah. Without the dicks.
Right, without
flying
the
dicks.
Second Life without the dicks.
And the locomotive women.
And the drunk British women that are
wants to pee.
hiccuping and
wants people to pee on her.
Pee on them,
yeah. Well, not everything can be Second Life, unfortunately. Unfortunately. No. So have you been playing anything else, or just Asheron's Call 2?
Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3, okay.
Yeah, actually, this was the last show that Deathwing gave me a copy for the PC.
Oh, that's right. What are you thinking of it?
Dude. I met Dr. Ironheart.
Uh-huh.
I think that's about as far as I got. I'm playing it too much because Asheron's Call 2 came back. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's a fun game.
It is fun. I mean, I talked about it tons last week.
Oh yeah, we don't really need to rehash that.
Yeah,
but I understand now. Like playing it, I understand every single fucking thing you said last week. Because last week I was just like, yeah, sure, okay.
Wow, I didn't hear what Joseph said about it last week.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, my biggest just to go into it really quickly. My biggest gripe was the fact that you have this giant open world where the possibilities are pretty much endless. But then as soon as you do a story mission, that world constricts itself to these small little areas, and it becomes this linear, almost like tightly wound single-player, unopened world game for that small amount of time. Even to the points where you can't even leave the mission area. It's not like it's not like Skyrim where you just get all these quests and you just go wherever you want, and if you just happen to be like they're like, wait, why does this town I'm in sound familiar? It's like, oh yeah, I have a quest here. I might as well look for this dude while I'm here. You know, in Far Cry 3, as soon as you get that mission and you start it, it's like you are in this very tightly constricted single player experience. And I thought that sort of not utilizing the open worldiness of the game in the single player aspect of it sort of was a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
that was my biggest thing.
Absolutely.
Right. That's very small, Joseph. That's.
No, I don't know. 'Cause, I mean, it's a very story-oriented story. I have a story-oriented game.
The thing about the game, right? To me, the difference between that and like some other open-world games, like this year, Sleeping Dogs, let's say, and I every time I go to like a Sleeping Dogs mission, right, I never like veer off the path, so I don't know what happens.
Right.
I do know what you're talking about because I did happen to do that, be in a mission in Far Cry 3, and then go off the beaten path, and then have it say like, "Oh, you're leaving the mission." And please return 10 seconds. You know, so I did notice that because I did like accidentally go off the beaten path, but I think the difference is like they do so much to make it so that like you just fast travel to everything, especially the story missions. There were story missions where you could just fast travel to them if you've never been there before through like the main hub.
Oh, really? I didn't even realize that because I travel a lot just by vehicle because it's more. I enjoy the random encounters I have in that world, even if it's just random shit. So I don't use fast travel all that much.
Yeah, see, I found myself doing it only because it's there and it's like so fucking accessible that to me is like some of the biggest gripes I have with Far Cry is like more of the damn it, like I know they try. It's that being a hypocrite thing that like most gamers do, right? Because we're all hypocrites. Like, it's always finding the right place at the right time, and like it just so happens that this was the moment where I was like, no, ease up on the fast travel. Like it's more interesting for me to drive between these spots, but in this game they gave you so much fast travel that I'm really just skipping a lot of driving around and those. The stuff that you're talking about, the randomly stumbling upon, a pack of deer or bear, and then jumping out to hunt one because I need it, and then getting attacked, or like
there's a random cave. Let me see what's in there. Like
right. Most of the time that happens. Like you gain that interest of exploration when you get a radio tower, and then it spins around, and you see something. You're like, oh shit, what was that? I want to go see it. But other than that. Like I'm not finding myself stumbling upon stuff because I'm fast traveling so much.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, then they have games where they don't have fast travel, like Dragon's Dogma. And everyone bitches about it. If you put fast travel in Dragon's Dogma, it would kill a lot of that game because a lot of that game is about the preparation of I have to leave town and I have to go to this other location that might take me 2 days to get there. So I have to be in the wilderness for 2 nights. So I need to make sure that I stock up enough anti-venom, potions, enough equipment. Like, leaving town's a big fucking deal in Dragon's Dogma. It's a dangerous world, and you can get fucked. And I've gotten fucked where, I said this in one old cocktail time, but I have to go to the mines. So I go, and I get my thing, and I get everything I need. Okay, I think I'm good. And I go, and there's those small houses right near the mines, and there's just fucking goblins. I'm like, I'm just gonna kill the goblins, fuck them. And then I said, oh, there's houses here. Let me look at these houses. And I look in like 2 of them, and then I open the 3rd, and it's filled with fucking spiders. And I get hit by a spider, and I get poisoned, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm poisoned. And I look at my inventory, and anti-venom was the only thing I forgot to bring. I forgot to bring fucking anti-venom. So I had to run all the way back in town before I died, because I'm poisoned and I'm slowly losing health. And as I'm running back, I'm like, God, this sucks, but this is awesome, because I fucked up. I didn't prepare for this journey well enough. So now I have to go back.
It's called Stockholm's.
Stockholm Syndrome?
But it's like, what's the anti-venom? Like, is it the only way you can get rid of poison in that game?
Anti-venom, yeah.
Really? So if you do not have anti-venom, you're dead.
You pretty much are dead. Yeah, you will lose.
Fuck.
You will lose life until you die.
Wow. should have the ability to tell one of the pawns to suck the poison out.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Suck the poison. Suck it now.
I think when you put the fast travel in, you kind of lose those moments. And Bethesda, they put fast travel in their thing, but I think people know enough about Bethesda games that you don't use that because you miss a lot of the game. Know that it's not getting from A to getting to B. It's the journey to A, between A and B that makes it.
A lot of times you can't fast travel to the points that are really interesting, and like.
Well, no, and in Skyrim,
new points you need to go to is just like I can't fast travel there. I need to walk there. I need to get somewhere that's closest as possible to that, and then walk there.
Exactly. So I think it's done well, but I think people also know that I'm just going to walk. I'm going to walk the entire length of Skyrim and see what happens, and just walk around and look at shit. So. And it doesn't hurt that that's a beautiful game, even on consoles.
Absolutely.
Even on consoles, I'm every time I pop in Skyrim, I'm amazed at how good that game looks.
That's gorgeous. I got to play through. I still haven't played through the fucking expansion they did earlier this year. What is that one? Not Hearthfire. The one before that, the vampire one.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of that now. I'm still playing it.
And there's Dragonborn too, which is.
I heard it's really good. I heard Dragonborn is really, really good. So I'm sorry, what were we talking about? I totally got off. Oh, it's Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 and fast travel and stuff. But I'm glad you're liking it. Yeah,
it's fun. I'll probably end up keeping playing it throughout the new year and finish it up because I played Far Cry 1. I did not play Far Cry 2. I played Far Cry 1, and that it was one of the games that I got off of Steam for damn cheap, and it was just like, this is a ridiculous game because Far Cry 1 is not anywhere near what Far Cry 2 or Far Cry 3 are. It's one of those games that's just like, it's a shooter. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. It's just a stupid shooter where like the people can see you through about 1,000 miles of jungle brush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Like you're wearing a big ass yellow Hawaiian t-shirt, and you're in so dense of jungle. And you see, like, on your radar, oh, there's a guy up there. And he starts fucking firing at you. But you can't see because there's fucking bushes between you and him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, that game was terrible. It looked good, but some of the mechanics in that game were just pissed me the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, like, seeing that kind of, I played Far Cry 1, I played Far Cry 3. How the fuck did it get there? Like, it seems like it's one of these directions that, like, you're going down this FPS path, and then you veer right for like 100 miles. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Why did this turn into an RPG? I thought this was just like a beautiful first-person shooter.
All right. You mean Far Cry 3?
No, Far Cry 1. Like, it's one of those games that you test your PC with because it's so hardcore. Okay. It's going to exercise your video card. It's going to kill your CPU, and it's going to look gorgeous.
I've actually only played a little bit of Far Cry 1. I played a bunch of Far Cry 2, the African simulators.
It's a shitty first-person shooter. Far Cry 1 is terrible.
Oh, okay.
Don't ever play it. It's not worth your time playing it.
It's not worth me going in there?
No.
Okay.
Then I played it through it, and I beat it because I got it like on dirt cheap on Steam, and I was just like, oh, okay, it looks good, but this is not a very good first-person shooter. I can see why people liked it for the looks, but it's, other than that, not a very good game.
What year did that come out?
Oh, quite a time ago. I think it was.
Let's put things in context here.
Yeah,
2004 was a long time ago. Centuries in video game land.
Oh, many years ago.
Yeah. So
was it 2004? Because Far Cry 2 was 2008. I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? I don't think I'm right anymore. Like, I can't remember anymore. I didn't play it when it came out. I played it a couple years after the fact. Actually, I think I played it the year or two before Far Cry 2 came out.
Oh, okay.
But it seemed very strange to me that it moved to this entirely different formula.
Yeah.
Yeah, even from 2. It's 3 is a lot different than 2.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. I like it. I like 3 a lot better than 1. I'm glad they made the changes. Because if it was just like Far Cry 1 but in a better engine, I wouldn't fucking play the game. There's no fucking way.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, so Jeff, what have you been playing recently? What have you been doing?
I've been playing.
And then we'll get to our roundtable Planetside 2 discussion, because I know Bob has some input on that too.
Okay, so I've been playing Dust, an Elysian Tale, which is good. It's a Metroidvania. It's good. It looks nice. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of it, or I'm assuming that you've heard of it and you've seen screens of it. It's an Xbox Live. It was probably the best summer of arcade game this year. Now that I'm getting to it, because I got to it late. No, there wasn't. But I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty well written. The voice acting is, but it's quote unquote an indie title, even though it was published by Microsoft. Mm-hmm. But it's good. It's good. I like it. I like the combat. I've been playing it side by side this year with Muramasa, and so I'm kind of like, the combat's cool, but I have some issues with it. Control wise, I'm finding like my character turns, or it responds to a different direction than I want to in some situations. But if you like Metroidvanias, it's the only Metroidvania this year I could think of, right? I don't think anything else came out that was Metroidvania style game, and that's the most important thing about the game, right? Is that, like, that genre, there's not a lot of it, and when it does pop in to a gaming year, it's kind of important, because I feel like developers are afraid to, like, go there. You know what I mean? Like, what was the most prominent Metroidvania after that? Outside of handheld games, because I know Castlevania has been on handhelds, but what, Shadow Complex? Mm-hmm. So it's like this.
Well, actually, no, that's not even really Metroidvania. Because I was thinking they did the new. They had an XBLA Castlevania game. Remember that? Harmony of Despair.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, HD. Yeah,
that's not really a Metroidvania. It was just there were levels. So that's it. There was one level and a boss.
It kind of was like how they structured it, but right, they didn't have the idea of getting an unlock, being able to traverse back through areas that you had, and unlocking new shit and all that stuff.
It had the Vania of the Metroidvania.
Yeah, it had the Vania, right, but not the Metroid. But it's good, and like I said, if that's what you're looking for, if that's a genre that you do like, it's a pretty good choice, and one of the only choices this year, so that's kind of important. I also went back to play The Witcher 2, mainly because I had to judge between that game, whether that game was going to end up on my top 10, and fuck, man, that game is so good. Like, The Witcher 2 is so good. I'm in like the second half of the game, and I'm far in, and I just went back, and it takes a while to get back into, because it's very technical. Like, the combat, instantly I was getting my ass kicked, and it was, I had to go back and like I just sat there for like 30-40 minutes reading, reading my journal entry, and like getting back caught up with the story, and then fucking like going back through the controls and trying to grasp all the shit that the game has again, because it's one of those games where if you step away from it, coming back to it is really difficult. But I gave it 3-4 hours, and it's just, man, there's not a lot like it when it comes to like how well realize that world is for an RPG, you know what I mean? And like the lore behind it, and the acting and the believability of the world, like it's so interesting, and like so, like I get absorbed into that so much. But it had to compete with Dragon's Dogma this year for me, and so I've been bouncing back between those. I know we just talked about Dragon's Dogma, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I've been playing this year. I mean, this week, Far Cry. I've been playing that too. So,
I still have not played Dust, and I don't. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I see myself getting to it. At least not this year.
Yeah, I skipped FTL this year. I
played that a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to, and then I watched a lot of people streaming it on 4pp.tv, and then kind of the excitement about the game died down because I seen so much of it, and I know it's super interesting, but I was like crossing my fingers, like iOS port. I want it on iOS, then I'll definitely play it. But it obviously didn't come to iOS this year, and it's just one of those games where, like, I know I'll get sucked into it for 20 hours. I really don't have 20 hours to drop into a game like that where I probably won't get to the end, which isn't really important with that game. But yeah, I had to skip a few games this year, and FTL was one of those, and I kind of am disappointed. I also skipped Spelunky because I played Spelunky last year on the PC, the free PC version. And again, like Flash one of those things. Yeah, the Flash version of that. I have it downloaded. But yeah, I skipped the XBLA version of that because I felt like, I know it's updated and it probably feels different, but the base gameplay formula and mechanics and stuff are kind of there. So, but yeah, 2012, man.
It's been crazy. There's been a lot of really good games that came out this year.
Yeah, I tried to run Planetside too, and it didn't happen. I need a graphics card. I don't have a graphics card on mine. I just have a built-in chipset or something.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah. So I'm not even gonna fuck with that. I'm gonna wait till after Christmas and maybe pick up like a decent video card. I don't want anything where I have to like update the power supply though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go crazy and fucking start fixing all this shit, because that's part of the reason I don't play PC games, because of
the constant upgrading. I think
just upgrading.
I think as long as you have 500 watts is standard, right? And that's usually good enough, isn't it, Bob?
Depends. A lot of if you're doing the lower end cards and low to mid range, 500 is fine. A lot of the higher range need to be at least 750, 800.
Oh, God, really? 750 now?
Yeah.
550, 600 was like the top when I was putting these things together.
No, it's about 750, 800 now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the problem. That's the problem with this stuff.
PC gaming.
The PC gaming.
PC gaming is right.
PC gaming.
But I will say I played it at a friend's house, and I watched a lot of people play it. And I'm assuming you're going to talk about it, Joseph, right?
Yeah,
so
we're gonna
have a nice big discussion.
We're gonna take let's do this. Let's take a short break, and when we get back, we'll start doing our Planetside 2 discussion. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. 4PlayNetwork.com. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Cocktail Time over at 4Player Network. Thanks for everyone joining us at home. All everyone over at chat room at 4pp.tv, especially our subscribers. Subscribers who really help us do what we do here at 4Player. Running this stuff is not free, and your subscriptions help us.
Free.
None of it's free. Apparently we're free, but nothing else is free. And your subscriptions help us out and help us to keep these things going, and we appreciate that. And we love you. We love you, and you want our love.
Do we, Joseph? Do we?
We tell them that. We just tell them.
Oh, okay. That's true.
No, we love them.
I screwed that up in there. Yeah, guys, we love you.
Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you like little children. Love you like little children. Love you like little children.
Let's love the children. I love to hold them and touch them.
Love the children.
Yeah, they can sit on my lap. I can go bring them around my park, my amusement park. Some of the rides are so scary. I have to hold them close.
Sit on my hospital bed as I get drugs pumped in me by black market doctors. Makes me feel better. I suck out the essence of the children, like the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. That's how I look so good. Only the King of Pop can drink your essence.
That's terrible.
They didn't call him the King of Pop for nothing.
That's right. Like the Emperor. All right. So we were going to talk about Planetside too, weren't we?
Yes.
So, like I said at the beginning of the show, I fucking love Planetside. I loved Planetside. I still love Planetside too. They made some pretty significant changes to things, and I'm not sure. I think they did them for ease of access.
Yeah.
Also, because it's a free to play game now, which means they're going to be getting a lot more people who are not going to invest so much into the game, like these sort of like these first rung people, and you don't want to scare. I can understand you don't want to scare them away right off the bat, because the whole idea is for them to get hooked into the gameplay, hooked into what Planetside 2 is or what Planetside is, and then get them to like either subscribe or start spending money on stuff.
Right.
If you put them into a situation where they're immediately not know what's going on, that's just not going to happen. Having said that, this game does need some sort of tutorial.
It's pretty rough because it's like, all right, you're into the game, we're going to drop you right into combat.
Well, sure, combat is combat, and the combat's easy and whatnot, but it's all the other particulars, and even coming back as a Planetside player, I'm confused about stuff, and I'm like, okay, so warp gates don't work the same anymore. That threw me off because, like I said earlier, when you go to a warp gate on a planet, previously in the first iteration of the game, you could use that big tubular warp gate to fly into and then choose where you wanted to go. Now, that's just all for show. It's just for looks, I flew into it and I walked around. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is this broken? And now you just use these little terminals in that area to go. Taking over bases and whatnot is very confusing if you don't know what you're doing. And one of the biggest problems, and I really hate to say this, but a lot of the base design is really bad because I don't know where the fuck to go.
I know if you look at your mini map, it's a little easier to get.
It's a little bit easier, but sometimes I'm looking for it. I see an icon. I'm like, okay, I think it's up there, and I'll go into this room, and then there'll be a wall there, and I can't get there from this fucking room. I'm like, God damn it! And the whole time you're fighting, and there's people gal dropping and stuff, and it's like a war zone, and it's not a good time to like be looking at your mini map and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, there's even if you get into like a biolab or something, and you're like, I see all these points, but like, what am I fucking supposed to do? It's like, well, you need to go up to the top, you need to cap all the points, and then you can actually disable the generators to get to the below point where you need to cap it. It's like, how the fuck would I know that?
Right, and then I'm like, I go and I know I have to overload the generator. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck? And me and this other guy, we just start shooting it, and we're shooting it and shooting it. Because I thought, well, obviously that's how you destroy this generator, is maybe you shoot it. That's got to be the way. And we're emptying clips, and this other engineer comes over, and he starts dropping ammo. And so we keep on reloading, and nothing is happening. And I put it in Twitter. I'm like, how the fuck, what do I do with these generators? And like, someone texts in the chat, hit E. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I go up to the generator
and hit E.
Yeah, there's a little prompt that you hit E and a little meter fills up, and then that's how. And then you have to defend it while it's overheating. But it's like, oh god damn it! Like it's not well, explained how to do that.
Not at all.
And even the effect of you have to drop certain generators to drop certain shields, and you have to drop them for a certain amount of time. Yep. And the trick is, those shields will go back up because the enemy's engineers will go and try to repair those shields. So the moment those shields go down, you have to get as much armor into that base as you possibly can. Is how
absolutely.
Works. And I think, you have to remember, I figured out all this stuff after 8 hours of playing in total. So it took me a long time to get these aspects down. And so I think that's gonna be weird for new players. I really love the certification system. I think it's really fantastic. It's in
the new game or in the
new game? In the new game. Yeah, I actually really like it. I know that some people are. If you're playing just a straight soldier, like a light assault, it's going to take you a really, really long time to build up certs. If you're
it's fucking it's expensive.
If you're not if you're not using vehicles or using mobile spawn points or anything like that, it takes you forever. The way I was able to build up a lot of certs was using engineer and constantly putting down ammo, constantly repairing maxes and repairing vehicles, and then getting my kills on top of that. You really need multiple sources of experience to really get those certs coming in, because basic certs will be like, oh, you want to hold sticky grenades? That's 100 certs.
Yeah, and it's 100 certs, and then a night you might get 50 or 100.
Yeah,
if that.
And that's a night is 4 or 5 hours playing.
Yeah.
It's not, I think people are used to...
Not trivial.
It's not, and I think people are used to more of a Black Ops Call of Duty where you'll gain 3 levels in one round sometimes.
Right.
Easily, when you're starting off, and then you'll unlock 3 or 4 things with each level,
Yeah.
So it's not like that, and I can understand why it's not like that, and it's because you want people to be playing longer. You don't want people to just get their fill and then be done. You want to know that, I need to play for a couple of weeks before I can get this ability I really want to get, or this new weapon attachment I really want to get, so.
Yeah.
But what I think people need to pay attention to, and my biggest thing is that I worry that the shooting is great, but it's certainly not up to par with something like a Call of Duty, which is much more polished, much more put together, controls much better.
I think the problem with that, though, is that a lot of the really good controlling Call of Duty style like firing and whatnot, it's all tied to certs.
Well, I don't think it's that, though. I think even
you have to get a better grip, you have to get a better scope, you have to get a better that stuff improves the gaming and whatnot. No, but it actually makes it a better shooter.
Sure, but I mean, just even the going into crouch and iron sights, it doesn't feel as polished in those other games. And I think it's because what Planetside really offers is not that tight-knit arena-style fast gunplay, but this broad war type of thing. And you have to look at it as sort of in the macro sense, Yeah. You're not just fighting over this small area that's a bridge. You're fighting over this bridge to get to this other complex so that you can take this area so you can get more vehicles so you can go to the next area and do it. I played a 4-hour battle over one base. It was the Crown on, I think it's Endar.
Oh, the Crown is always under.
It's very difficult to take the Crown, but it was fantastic watching the ebb and flow of this battle. Where when I first joined the battle, we were up against the ropes. I mean, we could barely get out. We can barely get our vehicles out because there's another base across the way, and they'll put their tanks on the top, and they'll just fire down on the Crown the whole time. And we ended up pushing them back after like an hour and a half, pushing them back past the bridge, and we captured the next base over. And then the next hour, we got pushed back, and we found ourselves in the exact same position. But watching this sort of ebb and flow of battle over hours is something that you can't it's just not available to experience that in any other game.
No.
And I think that's the magic of Planetside. You know, on Friday night, I got together with this outfit, which was made up of 4 different squads, and we were doing gal drops that were just, we would go start at the warp gate, we'd had 3 gals all get in, and we'd just all be dropping on these things at the same time. It was a coordinated effort, over comms, and like, coordinated to the point to where people were calling battle comms, which means no idle chit-chat, just battle comms, and that's it.
Right.
You know? And it was a real, I don't say a real war experience, but it was a great chain of command war experience that I've only ever experienced in one other game that's sort of a similar sort of open world FPS, which is World War II Online, which I was a big fan of for a long time, which I think is still around. But I was playing both games at the same time. And now Planetside 2 kind of offers that with a modernized look, and I think it's really cool. And it's free to play, so you don't need to spend any money if you don't want to. You know, if you want to buy better stuff, you can spend money, and they want you to spend money. You can get like under floorboard neon lights for your tanks, like Tokyo Drift.
I did. No,
you can spend $7 for a new horn if you want.
Can you look Cucaracha?
No, there's not one. No, because I'd probably buy that. I would pay $7.
Everybody would buy that.
This in-rolls all these tanks. So here's something that's also awesome about Planetside 2 that you can do. It's the fact that there's voice chat, and there's voice chat within platoons and outfits, but there's also area voice chat. So when someone's chatting over voice chat, over area voice, if they're close to you, you will hear them talking. And what people have started to do is play music over those things. So I was in this trench. I was at the Crown, and like we pushed out of our base, and we're closing in on the bridge. And I run across the road, and we're all hunkered down in these rocks. And there's like 8 of us there, and we're shooting. And there's like engineers putting something down, and all of a sudden I hear something, and I hear this high pitched thing, and I'm like, what's that noise? And I look, and there's this guy, he's running across the road, and his microphone is on, and he's blaring music, and I hear, and take a big breath, and I get real high, and I feel a little peculiar, and I go, and I take a big breath, and I went real high, 'cause and he's playing it the whole time while we're fighting, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
What's going on?
What's going on? And it was the He-Man version, with the version where the He-Man is singing. It was that one.
Cry. Do I cry?
Oh, it was great.
Yep.
And then of course there was another guy who was in the TR warp gate, and he had set up a turret in the doorway from the spawn point to where the vehicles are, so no one could get past. And he was playing the Trollololo song over his speaker. The people are trying to get by him. He's like, la 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 la. It was very funny. So, but it's a really fun game. I've already, in just the first 6 hours, had some really fantastic experiences. And we were talking about community with Asheron's call too, and honestly, the community so far in Planetside 2 has been pretty fun. Everyone over Yell Chat really does up the whole like the fact that we hate the other races,
factions.
the other
Fuck
factions,
the Barneys,
the other
fuck
factions.
The,
So they're like, "Fuck you guys, TR. What are you doing?" And they're all like smack talking each other.
Yeah,
but it's very much in good fun, and it's kind of fun to see people kind of getting into the role. So like we took over one base, and there's always that moment that 30 seconds after you take over a base where you just
like slaughter.
You slaughter.
What happens when you take over a base and if your base gets taken over and you're in the spawn room, you have a timer that says you will die unless you get out of the spawn room within 10 seconds or 5 seconds or 3 seconds. And it's like, fucking everybody basically needs to evacuate that spawn room or they're going to die. So you get this bum rush out of these spawn rooms. And of course the base is taken over, so there's like 50 guys sitting around on the spawn rooms, and they just kill everybody coming out of it. It's just this Murdo Hall. Like everybody's just dying left and right.
And of course I'm playing TR, so at that time I'm all through Yell Chat I'm spamming better red than dead, better red than dead.
That's terrible. Are you on Helios?
I'm in Helios, the one that you guys are on.
Are you in our outfit?
I'm not. I didn't know we had an outfit.
There's an official 4PP
so
outfit.
How do I find the outfit? Because there's an outfit creator, and I hit 0. Oh, I'm sorry. And there's an.
I can invite you if you want.
You should invite me. It's the Joseph Christ is my.
Easy enough. Yeah, I'll just have to hop on when you're on.
Right.
And I'll invite you in there. But we do have an official 4-player outfit. Terran Republic on Helios. If you're interested in joining, there's a few people that can invite people on the outfit. So. Definitely message him. I think Falker, Brad, Dr. Brad, I think it's his Brad's name.
Brad's is Dr. Brad.
Dr. Brad
that's That's kind of creepy.
I don't want to play doctor with you.
I don't want to play doctor. Come on.
No, it's okay. I'm a doctor.
It's all right. I'm a doctor.
I have a degree in this.
It's all right. Don't worry. How many people do we have in the outfit right now?
I want to say anywhere between 10 and 20.
Okay, that's good.
Now we had at least when we were running with Brad, we had 2 full groups, 2 full
squads.
2 full squads. We ran a platoon. Platoon. So we were running a platoon with at least 2 squads.
Good stuff. And people really, I mean, I like how people really get in to the attack defense thing.
It's fun.
People take it very seriously, which is good. I like that. I like that aspect of it.
It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. I really like the kind of as you were saying, the whole ebb and flow, like having like sometimes an entire continent will be owned by one faction,
right?
And it's like, well, that's an entire loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want to move over to somewhere where there's actually people fighting, or it's like, hey, they're focused on this one continent. We know they own a bunch of shit on this other continent, and we know there's a lot of them over here, so we're going to go over to where they own everything and then just go fucking start taking over shit. We know there's no one out there.
Like a special ops sort of thing. And
right, yeah. You just kind of swap in and be like, I know there's a lot of... Like, you're fighting stuff, there's a big front on one continent, because there's like 100 guys assaulting one base, and you're like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely bullshit. I'm just going to go over where there's no one else, and then start taking areas.
Right. I'll tell you what this game really does need, and maybe it has it, and I'm just not seeing it. It needs an end game. It needs once one faction takes a continent, that continent closes down, and then you have 2 continents to fight over. And there needs to be some sort of end game that a faction is a first, second, and third place for factions on the end game, and then there's basically a reset of the map, and everyone starts again. I think they need that, because there needs to be some sort of something to fight for beyond just the base you're at right now. There has to be a real condition of victory to be going for. Because right now I'm like, well, there's ebbs and flows, and it just goes back and forth for eternity. If you had a victory condition, if you had a way that you could have a first, second, and third place, and then that maybe gave you bonuses for the next game, or maybe the loser gets a bonus, something.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone in that faction gets 100 station credits. Fuck it, give them $1.
Yeah,
that would be good. And then you have a reset. And World War II Online did that. It had a reset if one side won and one side lost. And
it reminds me a lot of like Warhammer Online. Warhammer Online did the exact same thing, where you'd be able to take over a faction city, and you'd actually be able to go push the war to a point where you'd go to the other faction's main city, and you would take it over.
Oh yeah.
Like, you'd actually be able to take it over, and nobody could go into that city from the other faction, and you'd be able to go kill a king or the faction leader for a certain like really good loot. Oh. But eventually, like, you'd get kicked out, so you can never like perpetually keep the city.
Sure.
Like, eventually it would reset, but that was the winning condition for the whole PvP front, like getting up to the point where you can actually take them over, and then you'd get reset.
Yeah.
So there was a reward for it. It wasn't just like an arbitrary like, oh well, I guess we're just gonna keep doing this because we're gonna fucking whatever, we're just gonna keep taking outposts, and then you get to the point where it's like, well, there's no more outposts to take. That's it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem right now. There's this sense of just, well, we're just gonna keep on doing it ad infinitum. So
perpetual.
I think adding in a victory condition would really, I think it would get people more invested into the fights that they were getting.
Yeah, it incentivizes people to really kind of do that, really, really pushing hard and making sure that other people are going to work with you and have a joined effort into obtaining that final objective, rather than just being like, hey, I'm just going to go to this outpost and dick around. It's instant action, whatever. Just fucking dick around for about an hour and then leave. It's not like it's really going to do too much to you. You're just going to, get your certs and then leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not like, I'm going to push for it.
My experience with it in the 3 hours that I played it was boring. To be honest with you, that's the thing. Like I didn't know what I was doing. My friend just let me roll with it, and like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know where I was spawning. I had no idea. I had nobody with me. I'm just this lone guy, like, running on this empty-ass map, trucks and fucking tanks going by me.
Leaving you.
I'm like, look at this dick. Look at me. For 45 minutes, I've been this dick face running around in the fucking, on some planet with a gun, just please, someone stop me and talk to me or put me in your squad. Like, what the fuck? Like it was so like it's such a different experience. Like I watched Brad play it and I'm like, yes, that seems cool. Like that's really interesting. And then like that's not what my experience was like, And then once I did get with the squad, it was like I was just following orders. I felt like this peon, like you know what I mean? Like and like the experience just wasn't as positive for me. After 3 hours, I stopped. I could have played more, and I was like, it's the kind of game where I start thinking too much about it, and I'm like, well, this is going to go on forever. So then why the fuck am I going to play it? It's like this Gaia, you know what I mean? Like it just keeps going and going and going, and the numbers just get bigger and things just get better, but it's just fight after fight after fight. Yeah. And I guess you have to like really be into like the combat stuff.
You have to be. So right now, the real big draw, and I totally see where you're coming from, and you're kind of you're sort of like mimicking or mirroring exactly some of the things we're saying as old players coming in. I'm going, well, I can see new people just being really confused and where's this end game? And you're kind of mirroring those concerns, but with your first experience. I think right now the draw is the tactical combat of it. Knowing that you have to take this area and how are we going to do that? And how are we going to manage resources? And when you get up to platoon level and whatnot and managing those resources, that becomes a bigger deal. Right now, I think resources are too plentiful. So you don't really get into situations where, oh shit, we're running out of tanks. That doesn't really happen. It used to happen. It certainly happened in World War II Online. In World War II Online, if an enemy was attacking a complex, a base, if you held that, you could hold that enemy off long enough until they ran out of equipment, and they'd have to pull back, and they'd have to pull back before they'd have to pull back before they ran out of equipment because they still have to defend from people attacking them, a counterattack. So there would be people I was playing for the Germans, and there was people in actually a German high command who made these decisions. And the people at the German high command be like, we're pulling this attack because if we continue this attack, we're going to have no supplies and we'll have no defense for a counterattack, and they'll just come in and roll us at this point. And so I think Planetside needs a little bit more of that. Again, it's difficult to institute that stuff because it's free to play, and they don't want to turn off gamers. So you almost need to have a dual level system. You have to have the first level, or maybe 3 levels. The first level where people just want to pop in, fight some dudes, kill some fools, and be done with it. That's for them. They can do that. Make the shooting good, make the individual combat situations interesting, and that's all awesome. And then you can have a level 2, where it's a little bit more of the macro game, where you're looking at a little bit more of the broader picture. And where should we do this gal drop? Where should we maybe do this spec ops and take some of these other bases that aren't being defended, and then we can actually start making a foothold on this continent. And that's sort of level 2. And then there needs to be a level 3, a ultimate macro level, where really invested players, maybe they have to be battle rank 50 to actually really make these decisions and get to those levels where they're looking at things like resources. Where should we attack? What should we attack? What should we defend? Where should we put these resources so that we don't open up a hole somewhere else? And like World War II Online, which is now called Battlefield Europe, did that really, really, really well. It also, there was also always this sort of general I don't want to say frigidness. What is it? There was always an interesting dynamic between the lower players and the high command people, because you'd be fighting for this base and you feel like you're getting it and you're making something, and all of a sudden your attack order would be pulled, which means you couldn't really attack anymore and you couldn't get any more equipment because your orders were pulled. And so now you feel like, fuck, like, why are these other players just pulling our attack orders? You know, and they did it for a reason, the macro game, but as a lower player, sometimes you felt like you were getting the short end of the stick. So it's sort of made for some rough, tense moments sometimes between players. But and overall, it worked well, and I would like to see Planetside do more of that, because I see all these numbers. I'm looking at these hexagons, and I see, okay, well, all these +3s, and you can get more infantry here, but I never feel like that's causing me pain. I never feel like, we lost this base, so now we have no more prowlers. Fuck.
Yeah.
I never feel like that's happening, and maybe it is. And there are some bases where there are certainly some bases where you can spawn certain types of equipment. So I think maybe that's where that is. But I want to see that instituted in a better way that makes it more tactical. Where if I'm attacking the Vanu and their fucking tanks are causing us a big problem, I want to go. I'm like, well, there's their fucking tank factory. We're gonna take their fucking tank factory so they have no more goddamn tanks. And that's what you do. And then now they have no more.
Thing with we had problems like all the time with the air support. Mm-hmm. Like, all the time.
There's no air support.
Fucking ships coming in like just destroying us, and be like, what the fuck? Why can't we get rid of them?
TR has no air support. It's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's because a lot of the Terran Republic are angry about their planes. I mean, I've used mosquitoes and stuff, and a mosquito against the Striker, the Vanu Striker. Like, you're gonna die, because you do not have the mobility. You just don't have the mobility. So it kind of sucks. And I haven't played a Liberator yet, because unless you have 3 people, a Liberator is just sort of a giant paperweight to be shot down.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's they're like, I had a hard time playing with any kind of flight. I know some people are typically Vanu.
Sky, I'm sorry, Zocano at 4pp.tv, it's Skies.
Yeah, they're the people who play out the Vanu RNC for a lot of the air support. I don't really see typically much TR's air support going on, but it's ugly when it happens, and it's mostly because I feel like I'm not maneuverable in those ships. Like when I play them, I'm just like, I can't turn.
Yeah,
like there's no way I can turn around quick enough to really.
Make sure you up your. Did you up your mouse sensitivity for flights?
Oh yeah, I upped the fuck out of it.
I'm wondering if, because when I played World War II Online, I had a joystick just for flying.
A lot of people do that.
And I'm wondering if I need to get a joystick for flying, if that would make it better.
I know for a fact that people do that in PlayStation 2. Jesus.
PlayStation 2? In PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2, they have the
joystick grip. More like PlayStation 2.
Yeah. They use the joystick. It allows them to more precise.
You have to be precise.
Precise. The execution of their.
How many skill points do I need?
62 skill points.
62 skill points to fly my Skite or my Thunderer.
So it's hard for me to
shoot my cycler.
Sorry. Making fun of the people we talk to. Go ahead.
I was saying it's just hard for me to really like I said before when Bob was talking about Asheron's Call. Like I don't really play like MMOs or like a lot of online stuff.
Good
so it's not like it's not right up my alley in that sense. But I like the idea, like, watching our 4PP community get together with Brad and seeing, 17 soldiers, doing stuff. I was like, fuck, I want to play that. I want to be part of that.
I'll tell you what, I think if you didn't play by yourself, but you played when we were all playing in an organized manner over voice chat and organizing these battles, I think the magic would come out. I think you'd see how it is, and you spend some time looking at the map and looking at why you're doing things. Having said that, as I said, I think Planetside 2 needs more reasons to be doing different things, not just attacking whatever. There needs to be, and there are some benefits, but they need to be more dramatic. So benefits and punishments for taking bases need to be more dramatic on the factions that do it. There needs to be Planetside 2 overall just needs more consequence. It needs more consequence from the battles. It needs an end game to give the entire game more consequence, and I think that would get people much more invested.
Yeah. I feel like it feels like it was like this forum game that like some like mods made and was like, hey, and then it just blew up because like the way it's made, it just feels like, hey, game, you know what I mean? And you're just, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
There's a lot of depth that needs to be in there, and I'm hoping they put more of it in, and they might. I they had to get this out, they had to get this done. They have wonderful stock to work from. Just as long as they don't add BFRs. That's the only thing. Please, BFRs. Sony. Please, Sony, do not add BFRs. Just don't do it.
Remember those.
BFRs were giant mechs that they added into the original Planetside.
Oh, that was the Underground expansion?
No, that was before the Underground expansion.
Was it?
But BFRs was basically acronym for Big Fucking Robots. Every side had them, and they were basically indestructible for the most part, but they had this tiny little like energy cell, and if a sniper shot the energy cell, the shield would go down, and then it would take damage. They seemed like a good idea, and everyone was like really excited, and they just kind of were a flop. And then also the Underground expansion, I know what you're talking about, because I was there when this happened. The Underground expansion happened because everyone wanted urban combat. They wanted cities. We want urban combat. We want streets and all cities and stuff like that. And the way they were trying to give a urban combat experience was these cavern battles that they thought.
Close combat
cavern battles, and they weren't fun. These caverns were weird. They were convoluted. I believe there was another mechanic about collecting stuff in the cavern. I don't quite remember, but it basically wasn't something that it was trying to answer a call from the players and not really doing it right.
Right. Yeah.
So before BFRs, before you start putting caverns in or any urban combat, just add more depth to the end game. Add more depth to the macro game. And I think give people a reason to fight beyond just the fact that we're going to take this base here. Give a consequence for that. For both sides. The side gaining the base and the side losing the base. And I think you'll see people invest a lot more of their time and their money. I mean, they're going to be like, fuck, I'll pay a subscription for this shit because this is amazing. You know, I need these new weapons.
Especially if it's like if a faction wins and they get station credits.
That's
huge.
I don't know if they do it, but I'd say a faction wins and everyone gets 100 station credits. I mean, it's fake. It's fake money. It's not like they're sending you $1.
No.
So
send me some dollars.
So here's the question. Here's the question, Bob. Have you bought anything yet?
No, but I'll definitely admit that I've actually spent money on Tribes Ascend.
Oh, okay.
And the reason that I do it is that because like a lot of times I'll play these games and I'll be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll throw $15, I'll throw $20 at it because it's free to play.
Yeah,
it's like I would have been happy paying $20 for what I played for.
I'll put it this way,
and I've been great with it.
If I paid $15 on Friday to play the game, I basically played as much as a movie costs in Seattle.
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
and I played for 8 hours.
Yeah, you know? If you try to, it really depends on like how you kind of quantify your time and
quantify
like
entertainment.
The cost,
exactly. Yeah.
It's like you know, if you go to a movie, it's going to cost you at least like $10 to $15, and that's one night. That's 2 to 3 hours. If it's a long movie.
One of the big reasons I played I got into MMOs during a time in my life when I didn't really have a lot of spare cash for entertainment, and I was like, I can pay
really cheap entertainment.
I can pay $15 a month, and I can play this as much as I fucking want. And so it was a good thing. Oh, and people, Zakano of 4pb.tv is reminding, and everyone should know, this Friday, Station Cash is tripled. Ooh. So on Friday, if you buy $20, if you buy 1,000 points of Station Cash, you get 3,000.
I'll do that because what they do is like the reason why I got it for Tribes is like, you know, $20 I'll throw it at that, but they have daily deals.
Yeah, they have daily deals. Yeah,
and you have daily deals. You just wait there and you wait for you keep checking the daily deals, and if it's something you want, you can buy it for like a third of the price.
Yeah.
So instead of spending like $2 for this gun, you're spending like 30 cents for it.
It's
or like 40 cents for it.
Everyone learning from
ridiculous.
Everyone learning from Steam is what that is.
Yeah,
that's basically what that is.
It's the future.
It's the future. I want people to play this game because I want more people playing. Some of the big battles are fantastic, but usually if there's like one continent that's really on fire, there's another continent that's kind of on fire, and then there's a barren continent. There's no one doing shit on that continent. So I want more people playing. I want all these continents on fire all the time, and I want people spending money on shit because I want this game. I want them to add more stuff. I think someone also in 4pp.tv chat watching us live also said they want to add oceans between the continents.
They did originally,
and that makes me think like, is there going to be naval combat and boats and shit?
They were originally talking about doing it, but they didn't. They didn't get to it before they released the game.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to be getting to a lot of stuff, and that'd be great naval combat in Planetside, dude. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, naval bases. Can you imagine like landing, like having a Normandy in Planetside?
Oh God, yes.
That just give you an erection right there.
I'm just like, oh God. Planetside naval battles. Planetside 2 naval battles. That is terrible. But so I want people to spend money, and I want more stuff in this game. It's so good, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better when people invest more into it. Yeah,
they'll have the time and the money to invest more. Like if you actually have people spending money on it, they'll be able to actually increase the amount of content they have because obviously they have a bigger budget.
Yeah.
If they don't have the budget, it's not going to fucking happen.
Exactly. So Jeff, how did you play it on somebody else's system? You said?
Yeah. I played it at a buddy's house.
You should figure out the next time we do an online night where we're all going to play, and maybe go to your buddy's house and try to get on with us, and so you can see what it's like.
I'm getting a check this week, and I need my check because I was laid off for monies. So bringing out the garbage ain't paying the bills.
That's right.
So fucking if I can get, you think I can get a decent graphics card? I got like I think 16 gigs on the machine
of RAM.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Oh, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
So then I was just thinking of like, what do I buy for a cheap graphics card? If you follow me on Twitter, guys, in chat at 4pp.tv, if you got some good recommendations, please send them my way for video cards.
You can easily get like a good, depending on how much you're willing to spend. In the mid range, you can get around like 100 to 200. You can get a really good card.
Yeah, 100, 120. I don't want to go into like console. I don't want to be spending $200 because then I'm $300 away from like the next console that I could have just saved and said fuck playing PC games. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to chip. I don't want to chip into like this next gen and buy a smoking $300 graphics card and then in 7 months after E3 be like fuck I need $600 to buy the next Xbox. So
I know. Oh, there we go. Bam! Tom's Hardware, the best gaming graphics card for your money. December 2007. That's not right. 2012. There we go. Mm-hmm. They update these. So if you're going to go from 115 to 170, the best for your buck is going to be either a Radeon HD 7770 or a GTX 650 Ti.
How much are those?
7770 is 120.
Oh, that's nothing. That's easy. That's
yeah. How's that work? I think I got a quad 4. I think. Does that affect it?
For your processor?
Yeah, is my processor going to affect compatibility issues?
You're going to need at least a PCIe expansion.
Yeah, no, I have one.
Yeah, and so, I would say get your graphics card. And the great thing about Planetside 2 is you can try it out for free.
Yeah. Well, I definitely love the idea. Like, I think the idea of freemium, and like free to try and free to play stuff, like it is a really like it's a great model. It's so young, that it's realistically for us, when I'm looking down the line, like I even in 5 years, I don't see it being like a pretty consistent model that we'll see. But it is, especially for shooters and like online shooters and in situations like this where you can make the battlefield fucking 300 units deep, like.
Yeah. And Planetside 2 is good at scaling back battles according to what your machine's doing. So it will show you the stuff right around you, and if something's not directly firing at you, you won't necessarily see it, which is not always great, because sometimes it makes these weird decisions about what you can see and what you can't. And sometimes you'll be shooting at a soldier that's really far away, and all of a sudden he'll just disappear. Because
I'm going to grab you guys. I'm going to grab you guys a science experiment. Tara's freaking out. I'll be right back.
Okay. Tara's freaking out, apparently.
Oh shit! I wonder what's happened.
But and sometimes the game will decide you don't need to see something when you actually really want to fucking see that thing. So I'm not sure how they make that distinction. I think it's based upon computer speed, and also probably internet speed is probably a big part of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, see, I never played the first Planetside, and like I said, I never played MMO, so I never got the hook, and I just always stayed away from it. I was always like,
Yeah, I wouldn't. It is an MMO, but it's an FPS MMO, and I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't think of it. Do not think of it as sort of like a World of Warcraft or something.
No, I think of it more like that game that was on the PS3, right? What the fuck was it
Mag.
called?
It's like Mag.
Yeah, Mag.
Think of it as an open world Mag, and that's that's a better way to put it. But it's much better than Mag, I think. I'll say that. Do you have your science experiment, Bob?
What is he doing?
Let's see. Let's get you big here.
What are you doing, Bob?
Bob?
You're on mute, dude.
You're mute, Bob.
So yes, I have to deal with these things from time to time because Tara...
She freaks out.
She doesn't really freak out. No,
women are prone to hysteria. That's what they say.
This is a house centipede.
Ah. Oh, I hate those things.
They're really they look like they're really...
I hate those things. They get really big in Jersey. In Jersey, they can get like 6 inches long in Jersey. God.
6 inches.
I have fucking willies
these
now.
guys are a little small.
I have the willies now. It's awful. So what are you doing with it? What's this?
It's going to go outside, but it's...
I thought there was an experiment going on. Toast Points over at 4pp.tv chat is telling you to drink it for cocktail time.
Drink it?
Yes, eat it.
This guy's actually big. I actually haven't seen one of these guys that has been this big in the house before.
Yeah, they get big in Jersey. They're awful. I once had one on my car that was... I feel like it was a foot long. Maybe I was hallucinating, but I feel like it was a foot long. I was terrified. I wouldn't open my
these are just like house centipedes, though. They're like really... they're really...
I've seen them. I've seen them eat small dogs in the past. They do. Oh, he's freaking out. God, just give me the willies. Get it off my screen. Can't look at that.
It's too bad my camera's not as good as it.
Look how he's big. Look how he's like one of those tabs in a folder or something. Oh, Jesus. All right.
Bob, put it in a shot glass filled with absinthe.
Oh, yeah. Put some absinthe in there.
And see what happens to it. And then if it dies, you can eat it.
We're going to get the animal cruelty people all over us if we put absinthe on it.
They have really, really long, spindly legs. I can tell they're house centipedes.
Yeah. I know. I've seen
them. They're Brazilian. I think they're actually from South America.
Are people not waxing enough in your...
Yeah. They're really cool looking, though.
They're cool looking. All right.
Come on, buddy. You want to come out?
All right, getting ready. I don't want to look at that anymore. I'm taking it off.
All right. Yeah, Tara was like, you have to go deal with this. I'm going to go put him outside.
So it wasn't necessarily an experiment. It was you were saving the day.
Science. He's tired. He's not fighting anymore.
But yeah,
science.
So I think that's pretty much Planetside in a nutshell.
Yeah.
My experience have been really good. I'm itching to get back to it. On Friday, I was doing day job stuff all day, and like as soon as I got home, I clicked the Planetside 2 icon. I was like, oh, that feels good. Here we go. So Jeff, while we're waiting for Bob, have you been playing anything else? the news has been like? I've been out of this week. I've been so out of it this week. Hawken's out now.
Is it out?
The beta's out, isn't it? He's in the beta.
I can't fucking play it. That's for sure.
Yeah, grab it. I think you'd have a better time with Hawken than you would have with Planetside 2.
I want to play. I want to play Planetside 2 with people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh no, you definitely need to.
I had to, and even when the problem was even when I did play with people, it was just a mess, and I was just I really didn't know what the fuck was going on, and people weren't being nice, and I was just fucking following people. But I mean, on the other end of things, I mean, in recent thing that I played, which I think transcends pretty well, is I played Journey. Again, I came into it late, and I played it recently. In between the last time I was on Cocktail Time, I played it obviously for 2012 things, and it's amazing how, like, again, communication and how we communicate, like, changes everything. And like I feel like that's what Journey's all about. Yeah. Because in the game you can communicate, but you communicate within the game, not within our world through the game. You know what I mean? Right. So when you communicate with the character as the character in the game, and it's all chirps. But it just made me think about my experiences with Planetside 2, where, I would walk in. I'm tough, dude. Like, if I walk into a fucking chat room, so it's always the same shit. Like, what the fuck's wrong with your voice? Who's the sick kid? Right. You know what I mean? Like, you should
it's
the first thing, man. I wish I could you
should build that. Be like, I'm 8 years old and I have cancer. My one dream, my final wish is for LeBron James to give me a back rub.
So like communication, really just the boundaries of how far it goes, and the idea that because we talk, really, because we use a specific language, that's very intricate, like, it just makes like egos get in the way, and like bullshit, like just rudeness, like it's just it bleeds out of society now. Whereas like I played Journey, and I had like in 5 minutes I made the best friend all year. You know what I mean? Like through just communicating with the game. Whereas in Planetside, I was like, I walk up to a group of guys and I'm like, hey, I want to fight with you guys, and they were like, you're too weak, get the fuck out of here. They're like, oh.
There's no like weakness though in Planetside 2. Like everyone's kind of the same,
Yeah, but they were like, I was asking questions like, oh, how do you do this? And they're like, oh, you started playing? They were like, we don't want you hanging with us. Like, fuck.
They want to be like, go to the West generator and take care of it, and then you just go and do it. But it took me 8 hours to get to the point where I knew what that meant. So.
Yeah, that's a long time.
I mean, there's a lot, because honestly, sometimes there's a lot going on before you even get to that point. Just getting to the point of where you have to take care of a generator can take hours, because you end up in situations where you're in open terrain and battles can just break out anywhere, depending on who's absolutely. Where. So you can have, at one point I was in this 12 tank column going to another place, and we go across this bridge, and we met face to face with another Vanu tank column coming the other way. And all of a sudden, this serene bridge has turned into this spiral of death and explosions everywhere. It's like, holy shit! I had this other great moment where we were crest on this hill overlooking a Vanu base, and we were taking our shots, and we're kind of hanging out, and all of a sudden, like this giant explosion goes off in front of me, and I look to my right, and there's 5 Vanu heavy tanks that have flanked us, and were coming from the other side, and just blew us to fucking hell. Like, all of us, just... And I literally was like, holy shit! Like, in my mic, because I was like, oh my god. So, I mean, just weird, like, battle moments like that you can have those moments all day, get to a base, and be like, well, generator? What? Generator? What the fuck are you talking about, generator? So, and then just knowing how the generators work is a big deal. I remember Planetside 1 being much easier to get into. for a few reasons. Now I'm going by memory here, but I think I remember the whole generator taking over a base system and defending a base was much more succinct, much more straightforward. And not only that, but the bases were put together much better, to where you could find your way around a base much easier than you can now. Now I can run around a base for 10 minutes and not know where the fuck I'm going. You really have to kind of know these bases because they're kind of like sprawling complexes now more than anything else. So, anyway, that's Planetside 2. I'm enjoying it. I want more people to play it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, any news? What the fuck happened in video game land this week?
Did you guys talk about the VGAs?
We did last week.
Yeah, we did last week.
That.
Yeah, that's good.
People at 4ppd.tv are asking if I have any Santacon stories. I'll tell you this. Santacon this year was actually it was great, but it wasn't nearly as wild as it's been. We started at noon, ended around midnight. I wasn't that drunk. I think I had maybe 7 or 8 drinks, some doubles, but over an 8-hour period, that's not, it's a drink an hour. That's really not
7 or 8 is not that bad.
That's not a lot.
No.
And I'll tell you what happens with Santacon. It's kind of weird. If I get really drunk, and I got really drunk last year, I have no problem with Santacon. It's like, I'm going crazy. If I get drunk but not that drunk at Santacon, I start really getting like annoyed at the amount of people and the crush of people. And because you go into a bar and it's a bar crawl, and there was over 1,000 Santas at this one. So at every location, there was actually 3 or 4 bars you could go to because they needed to separate everybody out. You couldn't have everyone going to one bar. But even if that's the case, you went in. Give me some water. Hold on. You went in, and it was just a crush of people, and you would be standing at the bar, like tightly packed like sardines, like a fucking slave ship, holding your money and trying to get a drink. And you would stand like that for 30 to 40 minutes, waiting to get your drink. And the last bar we went to, and it was literally had to be about 45 minutes in that sort of situation to get my drink. And we got our drinks, and I think that one just kind of broke us. And we decided, we're just kind of done. At that point, we've been doing it for 9 hours, so it's not like we cut out early.
Right.
But we ended up, I said, let's just go back to the hotel room. Because my friends live in Portland, but we get a hotel room because we're drinking for 9 hours, and who's the fuck is going to drive? And there's usually like 3 or 4 of us in the group, so it's just easier to get a hotel room with 2 beds, and you can all just fucking crash out. So around 9 o'clock, we go to the cafe in the hotel. We go to and there's we're the only ones in there. We're dressed as Santas. We all order drinks, because fuck it, might as well drink some more. And my friend Edward pulls out a bag of magic cards.
I saw that picture.
So we're all in this cafe dressed as drunken Santa Clauses, playing a 4-way magic card game. Did you ever play magic cards with more than 2 people?
No, actually no.
We'll do 2 to 4 people, so you have 2 on each side of the table, and you can attack anybody. So it's basically a free-for-all 4-way magic game, which is a lot of fun. So we did that, and then we went to a 7-Eleven and got some more alcohol, just some ciders, I believe. And then went back to the hotel, and we watched Looper. And that was how we ended the night.
What's Looper?
It's that movie about time travel and assassins, which is actually quite good. It has the guy from Die Hard in it. Bruce Willis is in it. It's quite good. No, I enjoyed it. It was really good. And 2 things about I never go to hotels very often, and I normally don't turn on the TV or buy movies. Number 1, movies to rent from the TV cost $16, and they're not even HD. They're standard definition. Number 2,
porno?
No, but number 2, much bigger porno selection than normal movies. You go to the normal movies, and there's 6 or 7. A porno, the pages keep going and going and going. It's really amazing.
I love those.
For a little while, we thought about renting Neighborhood Swingers, but at that point, the only girl in our group had went to bed, and it would have been 3 guys watching porn, and that we didn't want to go there. It would have been uncomfortable.
You got the number. There's always numbers like a motherfucker in there. Yeah. It's I like it black 19.
When am I going to get to the B's, for God's sakes?
Yes. Mommy, teach me 4.
All right.
Fuck.
So that was Santacon. We went to one of our stops was Ground Control, which is a old school arcade in Portland that has beer and alcohol, but only old school arcade cabinets. So they had the old school Star Wars game. They had Tron. They had Rampart, which is a game I was talking about on Cocktail Time a while ago. The original House of the Dead, like only old school games. They had fucking asteroids, like original asteroids. Like this cabinet was around since the 70s. So, and that's always fun because I love going to arcades, and Portland has a few, and Seattle, of course, has the big one, GameWorks, where we have our meetups every PAX Prime. And there's something about like being in an arcade where everyone's playing games and spending money and have all the lights and the sounds that kind of grounds me to the video game world. Like, this is where we all came from. It's like our ground zero. But maybe not our ground zero. It's like our Wailing Wall. Maybe that's a bad one too. I don't know. Maybe I'll stop with those sort of analogies.
It's a good idea.
but it's really it's a nice feeling to be in there and know that, well, this is where it all came from. And as much as we're always, we go into the GameStop and it's like, oh fuck, all this DLC and these pre-order bonus things that are so kind of dumb. There's something about going to an arcade that feels very pure. That there's none of that shit. And of course, an arcade is all about eating your money, so there's that aspect of it too. But there's just something very pure about going to an arcade that you don't get anywhere else. And you get a little bit at like E3 or PAX Prime, but just going to a fucking arcade just feels good. It's like going home,
Yeah.
And I think being a little older and having grown up with real arcades in everywhere, I think I feel a little more of that connection. Like, oh, this is how I started doing this stuff. This is how I started playing these things. It was NES and then going to these real arcades that used to exist in like the late 80s and stuff. Whereas now, kids growing up, or 13, 14, 15, maybe listening to the show for the first time, have never been to an arcade. And if they've been to an arcade, maybe it was attached to a movie theater and there were two things, but they've never been to just a building, an establishment that was just an arcade. Like, people don't have that experience anymore.
With all the punk potheads used to hang out at the local arcade. It's funny because like when I think about it, like I was always like, yeah, the arcade. But like when I think of like my parents' outlook on it, about me going to arcades, they were always like, like that, that's not a good place to hang out, even though it was just an arcade.
It's all the bad kids are.
The stigma, yeah. All the kids are over there, you know what I mean? All the punk kids are over there hanging out.
Right.
Spending their mother's fucking couch change.
Spending their mother's quarters.
All the quarters.
The quarters.
My I'm from a Portuguese family, so that like my parents came here from Portugal, so they're cheap as shit, you know what I mean? Quarters. How long you play that game for on a quarter? I don't know, 1 minute. Back in my day.
Look, I hand to the bones with that quarter. Now you're just shooting asteroids.
Back in my day, we used to pick up 100 ears of corn for a quarter. What the fuck?
In the snow, uphill. Uphill cornfields, that's what we had.
I bought my first pair of shoes for a quarter.
Yeah, I still got them. Still wearing them.
I remember when gas was a quarter a gallon.
Right. Buy a car for a quarter. It's called a quarter car. Everyone had one.
I used to get a wheel alignment for a quarter.
Cost as much as the car. We'd complain about it.
News.
Is there any news? It's getting late. Is there anything we can touch on real quick?
Not really. Is there much?
I was going to say, as far as this weekend and like the later half of the week, like the only thing I've seen for news is a lot of companies are showing off some like new tech. Like Square, the guys that do like Square work, were showing off like new facial tech for like next gen stuff. So I'm starting to see like the influx of like next gen stuff. Another someone else did a video I seen on Joystick with an updated Crytek 3 engine used for an RPG.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? So like a lot of stuff.
They're gonna start putting this stuff out there.
Yeah.
Kind of exciting.
So that's good. Next year, I'm pretty sure we'll have a new console next year.
Fall or winter next year.
Well, I think it was leaked by Bloomberg that November 13th was the possible new Xbox launch date. Now, November 13th of next year.
Bloomberg,
not the mayor or the governor of New York.
The website. Yeah, that's it's a weird source for that.
Well, they do business stuff, so it was an inside business source. But I think last I heard, Microsoft was trying to decide how they wanted to announce the new console, and they might not do it at E3. They might actually have their own event that they like an announcement event.
It makes sense because they don't want to compete with anyone else.
Well, not only that, there's that, but also because the next Xbox, as the new one is probably going to be even more of a general entertainment device that speaks about more than just games. So I think having a separate little convention or a separate event to talk about all those aspects, I think, without the time constraints that E3 convention would have.
I don't need a fucking another convention to go to.
You know what? I can imagine that one's going to be invite only, and we will not be invited. Don't have to worry about that.
Fuck them.
That'll be top tier industry folks. Like I don't think you'll see a lot of even just game journos out there anyway. I'm sure people like people from Joystick and Destructo will be watching it online like we are. You might have some IGN people there, but that's a whole different story.
Can we chat about that for a second? Like, what do we think that future is going to be like? Price point. Like, is $500 too much, or $600
that's a little bit too much? I would imagine it's probably going to be around $300 to $400.
It'll be $300 for basic model, $399.
You think so?
$399 for an upper model. So
I don't think so, dude. I think $399 base, especially if Nintendo is hitting $299.
Yeah, but you have to understand that Microsoft is in a position where they will lose money on every console for years and be fine, and they have no problem doing that just to get the install base. And that's what they did.
I hope you're right.
That's what they did with the Xbox 360, and it has worked out for them. So they will continue to do that. I'm saying $300 for base, but fuck. What if they do an extra, arcade version for $250 at the same time and have three of them out there?
Yeah.
I think
it's about getting that install base in. That's what it's about. So.
I think what you said was completely right about like making it more of like an entertainment box. Yeah. But the thing I'm afraid of is like, does that mean there's going to be like a lot more SKUs, like 3 SKUs now? Like here's the basic Xbox where you can just stream Netflix and download stuff.
I think that's what the basic box will be. I think the basic box will be you can do arcade games, and it's your entertainment box. It has Xbox music, it has Netflix, it has Hulu, and it has what else do they have on there? Whatever else. It's that stuff, And then you have your first level gaming machine, which is maybe it has a mid-size gig hard drive, and then you're going to have your top-tier machine, which is going to have the biggest hard drive and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen, because they want... and the lower-tier one, it's almost going to be like more of a casual machine. And for the moms and dads who just want... I want to watch MSNBC on my Xbox and then play my other stuff. And I'm sure they'll all have some sort of Kinect integration.
Yeah. And what about Live? Like, does Live alter their... See, the thing about Live, right, is like they've been successful, so I don't feel like they're gonna feel the need to compete with PlayStation Plus. But
they have no competitor.
But I stopped paying for Live. Like I stopped being a gold member all year. Right. Like since January, I have not been a gold member on Xbox. Mm-hmm. And like this month or last month or one of like recent months that just passed, like I really sat down and was like, I think I need to get PlayStation Plus. Like the list of games on there that I could play like are big, and like it just seems like more like it's way more worth my money. So I'm just curious if like maybe Xbox is going to try and do the same thing and give games. Yeah, maybe
they might. If you understand though, they might, but Xbox Live is integrated much better with entertainment than PSN is.
Yeah.
Like you go on Xbox Live and It's like, holy shit, like, here's all these movies and music and everything right here, the 3 clicks away. PSN is not integrated very well, and I don't think it has the install base. I mean, I'm not a PSN Plus. I've never been a PS Plus guy. I've never paid for that. But I've been an Xbox Live user for 3 or 4 years now. I think I'd like to see Xbox Live offer more stuff with the subscription. I think that's important. I think the fact that if I have an Xbox Live Gold account, and I want to use the Xbox Music service, the fact that I have to pay $10 a month extra for the Xbox Music service, I think that's bullshit. I think
it's ridiculous.
I think that's bullshit. That's why I won't do it. Especially since I'm a paying person and there's ads. I don't care about it. I don't care about the ads.
Biggest problem.
I mean, I don't care about ads. It doesn't. I don't give a shit. But give me more for my money at that point. Put ads. I don't care, whatever. I just don't, honestly, I don't go over them. I don't click on them, and I don't even see them. I'm one of those people where I've been on the internet for so long that ads are kind of invisible to me now, unless it's the stupid ones that, like, move the whole page down and you have to click it, like they have on fucking news sites and shit.
But doesn't it throw a stick up your ass that, like, hey, I'm paying for this, and yet they're still making more money on ads, because I'm sure the companies like Doritos and fucking Mountain Dew, they pay a pretty penny for those fucking ads.
I don't even think about it. I'm so used to ads fucking me in the ass that I don't even feel it anymore. That's basically what's happening. It's just, I'm just going on with my day, and they're just pounding away.
Oh, Doritos.
Oh, I want some Mountain Dew on that.
That was cold. It was cold.
Oh, Mountain Dew. Get some Mountain Dew. Oh, Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. And Doritos.
All right. The Hobbit. The whole Hobbit.
I know what you're saying. I know some people are bothered by it. It's just that for me, it doesn't affect me that much, the whole ads thing on Xbox Live. But give me more for my money, at least. I mean, I do get some, honestly, like MSNBC, and there's a whole bunch of news stuff that's totally live on Xbox Live. But I'm sorry, it's totally free on Xbox Live, which is really nice. So I'm just hanging out in my living room. I can watch all of Hardball or Rachel Maddow or Nightline, and that's kind of cool. I don't have cable, so if I want to watch that stuff, I can watch it for free on the internet, sitting at my computer. But it's nice to be able to sit on my couch and just kind of watch these things, or be on an exercise bike and watch these things at home. That's kind of nice, and that I don't have to pay extra for that. So that's kind of cool. So it's a give and take. It's a give and take. But it'll be interesting to see how Live changes. I honestly, I don't expect Live to change all that much with the next Xbox. It's integrated pretty well. I'm sure they'll be integrating more functionality. They'll probably make it much easier to use with your Windows Phone, your Windows Surface, and all that kind of thing. But it's in a pretty good... And they just had a whole rewrite of it not that long ago.
It just... It feels so, like, counterintuitive to what other like Steam is doing, even with like the indie stuff nowadays. Like it seemed cool when it first happened, right? Like when it first started, but now with like Steam Greenlight and with just Kickstarters in general, and like just the whole way the market is going, like just thinking about it, like if I was making a game, I wouldn't put it on on the indie scene on Xbox Live.
Oh,
like,
no,
why?
Xbox indie game market is fucking flooded with bullshit.
It's awful. It's
terrible. It's terrible. And like, and that's funny because like almost 5 games on my top 10 this year are downloadable indie games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot, and that's not me making a statement. That's just, there was a lot of good, innovative, great shit this year from the indies, and like the idea that like that market isn't going to be really touched is disappointing, because I'd like to see some stuff like, like what if FTL was also on Xbox? Like that expands their market, but we're not going to see cool shit like that on their indie thing. So again, like it feels dated now. Like Xbox Live feels real dated in the last year because of what's been going on with.
But Microsoft always had a contentious relationship with indies, always. I don't see that. I don't see that ending anytime soon. If anything, I see it getting more contentious as they kind of clamp down even further as the new Xboxes come out.
Well, it's an interesting kind of parallel to the music industry where you have these big publishers and they're like they want to control the content going to their systems, and obviously like music publishers are the ones that can actually print music onto discs and whatnot, and you have these people that are independent out of their whole system that are making these games that are really good, and then there's kind of a contention between them that they're either you have to play by their rules or you don't play at all.
Right.
If you're going to be on their system, you have to play by their rules. You have to pay all the money to them, be able to publish by them. But it's kind of a weird system right now where we're at the end of the console generation. We're at the kind of where PCs peaked back up, where anybody can access it.
Yeah.
But now, then we're gonna kind of go back into that lull again, where there's back down. We're going to move out of this kind of indie wave into more of the console push again, back into the 6 years of another console where it's hard to fucking publish there, and it's just.
And you have to understand, there's a reason for that. Don't forget, one of the big reasons for the video game crash was the consoles losing control of the publishing and losing control of that, and anybody being able to put out any shit on a Nintendo cartridge or on Atari cartridge. I mean, that was the problem. That's what happened. The fact that there was just shovelware upon shovelware upon shovelware, and none of the publishers or the consoles had any control over it. And that's what I think they're afraid of getting into.
It's the iOS App Store, Joseph.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly it. But the benefit to the iOS App Store is I just download an app that takes away all the bullshit. Like if you don't have 100 ratings, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you don't even have a chance of popping up on mine. Right. So like I have the ability to cut down like this store that has, it's just fucking clone after bullshit and turn it into something.
Better filtering system.
Yeah, it filters itself down, and now I get to see like, okay, the stuff I probably should be paying attention to because it's starting to get, a little bit of attention. Whereas again, like I hope that kind of integration happens. It's kind of like Greenlight, right? Like that's what Steam is doing. Like, hey, here's an indie, people vote for it. If it gets enough votes, then it has a chance to pop up in that store. Yeah,
and with the internet that makes that possible. But back during the crash, there was no internet. And imagine walking into like a situation of the App Store, but it being a brick and mortar store, and you have no idea what's good and what's bad.
Oh my god!
I mean, that's basically what happened. And there was no internet to tell you or to filter things out. It was just all this mounds of shit. And people got tired of it. That was what happened.
Bob's Quest 4. I was like, what?
Yeah. All right, guys.
What is this bullshit?
What? No. All right, guys. I think we're done for the night. Thanks for all watching at home over at 4pp.tv. All of you there, especially our subscribers who we love very much. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jeff, for coming out tonight. Make sure you go check out the main website, 4playernetwork.com, where we got some news stories up there. And stick around because Brad, I have this on good authority. I actually talked to him. Brad will be taking over with some wonderful, luscious video games. It's been Cocktail Time Live. Thanks, everybody.